Hi everyone, just starting up with a new video. You can see a hair on my screen. Sorry, I think it might be underneath the paper, plastic I should say. Okay, so let's get back to this baby. So we've been sewing this and you can see it is slowly taking shape. There's lots going on. I'm just moving some stuff so it doesn't get in my way when I'm quilting, and it is becoming really effective. So you can see all sorts of flowers and there's a couple of bugs and all sorts of things, but I did the other day, I did some of these fellas here, and I don't know what you'd call them, they're sort of funky little things, and these leaves. So I'm thinking, and there's a big one there, and I'm thinking maybe I need to actually, I might section off this area here, g'day Rado, and this one here, and I will make a couple of extra flowers. I've got circles there implying that's what I'm going to do, and I'm thinking that would be a good thing to do today. So let me just do this line here. That's the one I'm going to do. So it's a very long straight line, so it might get a bit wobbly, so I'm going to shorten it off by hi Suzanne. So yeah, so what I might do is actually start with some of these flowers. I've got an area here that will look good to do today. It should take me about half an hour or so. So you can see I've already drawn these circles, so just these circles just to give me a shape, and the center, just so I know. And this one is a half shape one, and I might actually get one here. It can go underneath that. Might have it go underneath, hey, like that. So it's going to go underneath that little thing there, and this one here, I might put one here, just pretend that it's a circle, and that can go under that line. Hi Margaret, how you going, love? Glad you could join us. And we might have the center bit there. So this is going to create a couple of little tricky bits, but we will work around them, hey? So let's start with doing this line first. So the idea is I like to actually bury my thread, and as you all know, being an art quilt, I will try and bury it as much as I can. I can also see that my foot needs to go down a little because that's too high. So I'm just going to put my needle in the down position. I'm going to grab that thread there. And I know it's not right at the base of it, but I'm going to try and get it behind what I'm sewing so I can get to it later. There we go. Alrighty, so it's a bit wonky where I've drawn. You can't quite see it. I'll try and move the camera. You can see there. It's a little bit wonky, but I'm going to come up and then stop here and then move the fabric. Alright, got my trusty gloves on. The thread that I'm using, just FYI, is the Wonderfil Mirage number 26. And the gloves that I'm wearing are the Marcia Baraldi's, the Nifty Quilting Gloves that I sell. And the needle I have in is a size 90 titanium based superior needle, so I don't smash it to pieces. And in my bobbin I also have Wonderfil pre-wound Decobob from Wonderfil also. So there's only about 7 of us online so far. There must be some really amazing quilts demos happening with Craft Alive today. So I went a little bit further than I thought. Hi Marilyn, how you going? So I'm just going to go all the way up here. Hopefully you guys have a really good view of this. Oh, sounds a bit grunty, doesn't it? There we go. That's a bit better. All the way up to the edge. Now you'll notice on the edge here it's going to be baggy. So hi Lynette. How are you, love? And I'm just going to move it quicker. Whoops a days, a bit off the edge. Quicker, get a basting stitch there and stitch down that side. I can cut off, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do this one here. So needle down, I've buried my thread. I see a nice big thread there. There's lots of fluff on this because it's black. You won't see any of that when I'm finished. To there. And I'm going to come down here and around the corner just to base that. Nice big stitches, move it faster, bang, bang, bang. Get it all done. Bit of hair there. It's probably for my jumper. I'll cut off. Sorry, my hand in front of the camera. I can see that thread's going to be annoying, so he's going to go. And it is a bit wonky, but look, you know, in the whole scheme of things, I don't think you're going to see that. And if I don't tell, you won't tell type thing. So let's do the next one. Is this one here, right against it. Oops a days. And I'm just using, if you notice, right here, I'm putting that on this line, and that's giving me the distance. Okay, if that's any help to you. I'll cut off there. I don't have to do all these cut-offs and everything. I can come back and forward anytime I like, and you know, travel up and down these lines. It doesn't really matter. I'm using that foot again. If you have a look where that edge of that foot is, it's just sitting on the previous stitch, and we get up to there. A bit of cut off. And I drew across here with my bow and pencil. I drew another line because I wanted to break up that area as well, but have my flowers going underneath. So I'm going to start off the edge of the piece and just stitch down to that line. If it buckles up, I'm not really stressed about it. I'm going to travel across and come back. Now I changed the needle on the break. I just think she's cranky at me today. Probably needs a good service. She's a very busy girl, my machine. Okay, so your first temptation is to go and want to do the outside edges of these. Sorry, that was my scissors. The outside edge, but that's not what we do with these flowers. What we actually do, and I'll draw one, is we start here and we go up. We do a bit of a wiggle and down, up, bit of a wiggle and down, and you just keep going all the way around. As you go, it'll start to form that flower. Now you can draw the whole thing like I'm doing right now if you want to, but it's not essential. You can just wing it. It helps to wing because it gives you some confidence. You can have a gap in between them. They can be different shapes, and then you get to the last one, and then we do this center bit, okay? So we'll start with, and we're also going to do some little lines in there. So we'll start with doing the petals first, and needle down, bury that little booger thread. He's going to stick up there, and I'm going to get up to there, and I'm literally going to stop right on that top point, and I'm going to grab that because I don't like him there, and cut him off. And start again, bit of a wiggle, back down. Now you can come in and do those center lines if you want to now, and then go back up and down, or you can just go back up and do the outside all the way around. And your little wiggles can be large, small, they can be 2 or 3 of them. There's no right or wrong with this. Each flower is different when you look in the garden. As beautiful as Mother Nature is, she's also not perfect, or she's perfectly imperfect. bit. Up. And you can see I'm slowly forming the flower. And I get to the last one, and I'm going to just stop up here, because now I want to do the little lines that are here, you know, those little expression lines or creases. So I'm going to run around the whole top, and you'll see how I go. And this is where people sort of say, oh, do you care whether the colour changes in the wrong spot because it's variegated? No, I don't. That's a part of the organic look. It is what it is. It lands where it lands. So all the way around again. Just travel along the top there. Some can have one, some can have two. All good. And then you travel back down to here, and we do those little lines up and down there like we said before. Just up and back to the centre. A couple of long ones and small ones. And because I'm using a stop-start and my hands tend to go the same speed, that's your motor skills, it creates sort of a what do they call it? Sorry, my brain's not thinking because I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. Irregulation with the stitches. Okay, so then we get to the centre. Now I'm going to do something absolutely horrific. I'm going to turn it to zigzag. Yes, zigzag. I might go to the, no, it definitely needs, oops, a daisy, wrong one. Needs to go to that one because that one is way off. Yes, that one. All right, so what I need to do is just make sure my zigzag is about, oops, a daisy, wrong one. I need to make my zigzag, the width of it, it's very small. All right, so you ready? I've got to make sure, I don't know whether I'm going to hit the actual thing or not. So, oh, there it is. Yeah, see how it's going to hit here? That's no good to me, so we need to shut that before we do some serious damage. And put the needle all the way over this side. No, it's the wrong way. All over the other side. There we go. Because I so don't want to smash my needle. And let's just go bang. Oh, see how it came all the way over here again? That is so no good. All right, so let's put it back over here. Let's make the width of this really, really small. Like 0.5. And if I put that down there, just want to see where it's going to hit. And this is, you do have to test this out each time. I think I'm right. Yeah, I think it's right. We'll soon find out. I'm going to hit that and have a smash needle. Hey, you ready? There we go. That's what we wanted. So a little zigzag. Let's just do some zigzaggies in here. And what you'll find is it creates a bit of a texture thing. Right, that was a bit hairy, so just make sure that wherever you do your zigzag, make sure your needle's going to land in the correct position before you go zigzagging. Alright, so let's cut that off and change back to the straight stitch, and we've got one flower done. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you've got to really make sure that that needle is going in the right position. I've done it too, Rado. You're not alone. Trust me on that one. All right, so needle down. I've done it doing a straight stitch. All right, you ready? So we're just going to go up to this point here. This is, and I should have shown you before I started. So this is the ovally shaped one. I'll just cut off because I want to draw it for you. I might start in the center so you can see. So it goes like that, and of course you got that one and this one. Come up the center, down, up here, down, and you keep coming back to that center, that point back here, then come back up this side. It would have scared me too. I would have jumped like a girl and squealed. And then once you get back up to there, travel back up your side, and then do your little lines all the way across and all the way there, get to there, and then travel back again. And now you're going to do the ones from in here. All right, so up, a little wiggle, and make them come back to that on that angle. Okay, then travel up, do your little wiggle bits there, back down, create them across there. Once we finish, we can travel back down here and do our little lines down here and give it a bit of texture. All right, you ready? We'll start again, and I'll start in the middle where I should have started. So needle down, let's bury that thread. Oh, no, that just made a really bad jolting movement underneath. Yeah, it did. It jumped around like a naughty thing. I'm just going to chop that off. So I don't like that. And just check my bobbin. I don't think it's an issue, but just want to make sure there's no thread sitting underneath here. Sometimes if there's threads under there, it'll carry on. No, it looks good. Just dust. There we go. Make sure it's in properly. More pre-wound out. There we go. That's it. Pop my bobbin back in. That's the pre-wound one. And again, when you're using these pre-wounds, you might need to put a little genie bobbin holder or thing in there to lift it up, just because they sit a little bit lower, FYI. So foot down, oops a daisy, foot down, needle down. There we go. Let's try again. Got a horrible suspicion my tension's not right, and it's not. You might ask, how do I know? I can tell the stitches are sitting higher than they normally do. And go down. And this one I'm coming up on that angle, so it looks like it's going around. And see, that one's a bit straight, so I'm just going to add one in at the side. And then come back down to the bottom. Come up this side. And all the way down there again, even though I know I've just done that line before. And I might do these while they're here, while I'm in the area. Just a couple of lines here. The wind's bad here today. I don't know what it's like in your area, but the old Darrell area, it's very windy. Mum said Geelong is not too bad. So I'm just going to do these top ones. travel along here again, following the same lines. I'm not stressing with the colours of the thread not matching. That's why we use a variegated thread, because they don't. Okay, then up, across, and then up to that corner. Do those top lines. And the beauty of this one is that we don't actually have to do bottom lines because they are hidden down amongst the flower in the centre. Yeah, right, okay, Marilyn. Yeah, it's really windy. Actually, windier than I thought it was going to be. I didn't realise it was going to be that windy today. I can see I've got a bit of yellow there. I'm taking advantage of it by just going over that area again, coming back down the side. Just filling in that and stopping. So now we have a bud, half open. I've got another one over here. So this one actually goes behind that line. So what we're going to do is we're going to just make the line a little bit better up here. I'm going to up there. And I'm just going to do those ones. And then the ones in, oops-a-daisy, wrong way. Oh no, that's right. And those, we want them to come in. And that's sort of where I'm going to go. Okay, so that helps. I might even do one more here, just because it looks a bit fat on that one side. All right, we're going to travel along here though. Okay, so we're going to use this line here that we stitched earlier as something to travel along. But again, we're going to start in the middle. So needle down now. That little furry bit of thread there. I'll have to get him in a minute. Stitch him in, one or the other. So up here, across, down. And travel up that way. Go up and across. Travel back down. Across, travel back down, over. Now you need to go over all of those so that it's at least been gone over twice. You go back down that side one and let's put those little bottom lines in. You see my fluffy bit there? I'm going to stitch it to death. Oh, and it might miss. There again, and we're going to travel down here all the way down to the edge of the fabric. Then we're going to travel up here. There's a daisy, we need to grab, there we go, all the way back up this line. We need to go up, there, and there. And a little wiggle, and a little wiggle, and a little wiggle, a little wiggle, a little wiggle. Do our little detail lines to give it some life. Creases, come back across. Travel back over it again, little wiggle. We want that nice and thick. And go up here. And go on this side this time. And being right on the edge of the fabric can be quite difficult and quite straining. So remember as many times as you can to keep your hand flat. If you do need to hold on, the way I'm doing it right now is a good way, but I'm not using any strength in my hand. I'm just guiding, so it's really quite a loose grip. If you have a really tight grip, you're going to end up having that tendonitis issue that I get. So just keep it nice and loose grip. Alright, so we just need to cut down, thicker there. We're going to travel all the way across this, and the reason being is we don't want half of it looking like it's been travelled and the other half not. And we're going to travel back down here, come back down here, and stop. We had a nice drop of rain this morning. I'm going to go buy Apple TV so I can watch your videos on better TV better. Oh, hi Pat, how you going? Back from the doctors. I hope everything's okay. Oh, okay, you had a bit of rain. Yeah, look, it's trying to rain here. Got washing on the line, and I pretty much know my kids won't get it off. I can see over here, I just need a little bit more lineage here, a little bit more details. So we're just going to come in and make them a little bit more fatter. All right, let's just cut that off so we can see what we've done. So we've effectively done 1, 2, 3 flowers, and I've done them in about just under half an hour. I didn't have to think too much about it, but that's because I've done quite a few before. But when you're first starting, draw them on. Don't be frightened to draw them on, and don't be frightened to travel back over where you need to go. You can tell that it looks just fine if you have to actually travel back and forth. I've got some crosses here, so I'm going to, you can see that one just there, and I've put another one here. I'm just going to redo it there. Those 2 crosses are going to be a different kind of flower. That tells me where these ones are going to go. So foot down and needle down. Bury that little booger. Still got that little bit of fluff there, so I'm going to grab him and snip him off. And I'll come back to this one in a minute. What I'm going to do is come up here and then back down, and I'm actually going to do the other side and back down, and then I'm coming out again. I'm going to stop here because I really and truly want to get that little bit of fluff. There we go. So I'm doing these ones. So I start with a cross because that gives me the direction, and then we're going up, down, up, down, up, down, and we're just going to keep going all the way around those 4, and then we're going to do ones in between. Okay, I have shown you these before. They're quite effective, and they're so easy. And because that one's going behind that line, I can stop there. And it doesn't matter if you've got one with 3 lines, one with 4. The idea is to keep the lines reasonably close. This one's going behind the other flower. Come up here, down, here, cross and down. I'm going to fill that up. And more over this side, down. We're going to do the other way. It's going behind this flower. There, up, down, and the other side. Travel back down. Might do one more on that side. It looks a bit thin. Travel back down the outside, and I think it needs one on there, just because it's same with this one. Just looks a bit open in the centre. Alright, so let's do the ones in between. I'm going to fill in this one with just some lines back and forwards because it's literally going behind the other ones. I'm just putting another line in the centre there. Now, here we go. Up there through the centre, down either side, up and down. Come up there, down, up, down. I've got that. Love that yellow when the yellow comes through. This one again is just going to hide behind the flower. And down. And then we've got one here as well. So up there, down, up, so you can come back here. Now you can do them again through here and just make it bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, but I am going to stop and cut off because I want to go all the way over here. I could travel if I wanted to, but for this, let you know it's okay to cut off if you need to. Foot down, one more. Now, the reason why my thread didn't bury is because it was underneath that foot. So I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter and see if it'll pull it through. There you go. So up one way, down the other, go in the centre if you want to. And the beauty of these, there's no right and wrong. You can make it look any way you want. If you want to, you can make it a different shape. You can make it a love heart. Okay? Anything you like. And we go up this way, down, up that way, down, up that way, down. And go this way, and again, this one's hiding. One's going to hide behind that line. So back and forth on the same line, unless you want to travel along that straight line. Do that, and then I'm going to do the one in the centre, between each of these petals, keeping it close. And like I said, there's no right and wrong. They can be large or small in different shapes. It's a bit like pebbles. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're happy. Okay. Any questions at all, ladies? Anything you can think of? Okay, so we've got another flower there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just getting some fluff off. I'm going to do one of these but smaller, and I'm going to have it come up here and around there. So, and then I'm going to have another one come up here, and it's going to go that way. It's probably going to go off the page, which is fine. Same with this one, might make it there. Same with that, fill in there. And I can have one coming over that's really small, going behind that one. So we're just going to put a couple of these in and have that come up there, again going off the page, and it creates a nice little effect. All right, so foot down, thread is above the foot, it's out here somewhere, and I'm going to put the needle down and bury that thread. I'll have to get myself one of those pens. Oh, Lynette, yes, I have those in stock. They're 22 and they're brilliant. All right, you ready? I'm going to do this sort of semi one there, and the first thing you're thinking is I'm going to jump over that bit of line, but I'm not. I'm literally going to follow these lines up here first. And I can see there's one coming over here. So they're the first thing I'm going to do. Filling in those, up and back. And I'm going to come across here. And I'm going to do this, yep, sure, Lynette, I can pop one aside for you. I'm going to come across here and do this little one that's going to come behind. So, first thing I do is do that little bit of stem, come back down and do my half circle, back up. Now this is the letter C. Now do you remember me talking to you about doing the wormhole yesterday? Same sort of thing, but we're making them smaller and larger as they go along. So I'm just going to travel back and go and get this one up here. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come up and down a couple of times just to make it a bit thicker. There it is. And back up here. All right. So come down, reposition my hands, come out and around, in the shape of a C or an O, whichever way you want to look, up, and then travel like that again, and do another one, and then another one, travel back up a little bit, and back, up, and back. And she can go right off the page, and that'll go into the seam. Excuse me. I'll just cut off there because I want to come over here. I could travel along and then come back down here, but, you know, for this sake, I'll just do it that way. Now, because I took the pencil off to show you how I, like, you know, what style I was going to do, that's sort of what I do when I say I'm going to do this in this area. I'll just go, okay, that's what I'm going to do. It's like with that star one, I sort of just drew a cross because that's how I knew I was going to start. So with this one, you come out and around and then back up again, around, back up again, around, back up, around, back up. And you just keep going like that, okay? And don't go fast, you don't need to. You just tick along at your speed, whatever's comfy. And up there, a couple of times. Now, back up and around. Back up a little and then around, doing the letter C. And I can make them bigger and smaller if I want to. And to make them turn corners, I'll make it fatter on one side and thinner on the other. Back up and around, back up and around. And I'm going to gradually get smaller and smaller as I get to the end of it. So back up a little, another one, until I get right to the end, and I'm just going to do like a little dot, little colouring part. Alright, so then you create that little fella. I'll just trim that off there. We're going to do these ones, and then we're sort of done for now until the next little workshop at 3 o'clock. And colour in this. You've got to love free motion quilting. So a C. Oh, the stitch has got a bit big then. I'm just going to change the position of my hand. And this will go into the seam as well. And that's okay, I'll cut it off when I need to. There's a selvage. You can actually go into the seam and come back out, so it looks like it's gone off the page and then come back on, which is pretty cool. And I'm making it turn full on itself, little half circles or C's, and just a little knobbly bit at the end. And cut off. And we've got one more to go. Get that up there. Grab onto that way. There we go. Bring that up. Come back down. One more up again. Now, out and around. Back up. And these can cross over too. Don't be frightened to make them look like they're crossing over. So I can have this one going behind the one I've already done. So I can just travel up there. Now, if you're not too sure of this, you can always draw it on first. There you go. So he looks like he's traveling behind. So he's going up behind that one and down. Okay, so that sort of gets that area done. The next step for this area, these two areas, will be to fill it in really tight like I've done with other ones. There's your letter C one, some lines, circles and stipple, and some more of the wormhole sort of look. Can even pop a few leaves in here and there and really fill it up. But yeah, to be honest with you, whatever I do in here is going to look just fine no matter what I do. And even if I was to stuff it up all today in this little section, I could probably still stitch it to death and it would be perfectly fine. And that will happen with yours as well, because you've got so much stitching there that it won't, any error or any indiscretion won't be an issue. Alright, so you can see I'm making them work like they're working from behind, just filling in a little bit of the area while I talk to you. Any questions in regarding to this, please feel free to ask, or send me a PM if you don't feel like you can ask online live. I'm going to echo this baby and fill that in really, really quickly. Nice. An echo there, down here, there. There we go. Echo here until I get to that point, and echo those. Can you hear that tip 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 noise the machine makes? That is the noise of a very happy machine. It's exactly what you want to hear every time you're sewing with your machine free motion. It's a nice rhythm and it's not stressful on you in any way. It's got caught. There we go. Oh, there we are. And any of these can be done on your sit-down machine like I'm doing, or you can do it on your long arm, whatever suits. If you've got a, a Sweet 16 or a Janome 16, do it on them. There's no difference. And I've literally just echoed around most of these just to fill up that area. I do need to just come in here. I might cut off just to come in to this little area in here between the flower and needle down there. Hands at a different angle, so bear with me. I'm working from the side of my machine. trim that off. Get rid of the fluffy bit I found, I made. And that fills up that whole area really, really quickly. I mean, that was so, so quick for such a lot of stitching, you know. And all I've done is echo from different directions and travelled along the same stitch a couple of times in some places just to make it nice and thick. And yeah, we've got ourselves a full area already. All right, my new local is telling me the Bonina sit down is better than the Sweet 16 and Janome. Of course they are. Are they selling them? I've used it. I've used all of them, all three of those. Send me a PM and I'll tell you my opinion privately. All right, ladies. I will see you at the next one. I think it's 3 o'clock, and I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what it is, but I'm sure someone will. I also want to let you know I do have some specials on during the Craft Alive. If you were to go online on my website, you can order Resants. Now they're always $8 each, and of course I have them at $5 for $35. And fat quarter packs. I also have them as well, 10 for $30. But they won't be on live. They will be sales. Online. They'll be on the sales on Saturday and Sunday. Now, I also have batiks. They'll be on sale tomorrow. And also the titanium needles that I use, the Superior titanium needles. If you purchase 1 pack for $12 or 2 for $20, and the quilting gloves are $42 each, and the special is $36. I'm keeping it the old price. There are codes. You need to go to Craft Alive and be registered to get the codes, and ask them at the Great Australian Craft Show, and they'll give you the checkout codes for them. All right? But be here tomorrow. Please be here. Don't miss out on the big sale, because man, oh man, are you going to get a bargain. All right? Well, I'll see you at 3 o'clock with our next little project. See you soon. Bye.